Are you getting married soon, or maybe some of your relatives or your friends? In this video, we're going to share with you 5 tips on planning your wedding, shared by the one and only Kitty, who we got to interview for our podcast. Kitty works as a wedding planner, so this will be a professional advice. And it's not only the 5 tips, we have 3 more tips when it comes to saving money on your wedding and what are the areas where you can save. That's what you're going to get in this video. Hopefully it will be useful and helpful to your wedding, organizing and planning your wedding, if you're not considering hiring a wedding planner like Kitty. Welcome to our channel, How Real Life Works, where we talk about all the stuff that school doesn't teach you and also weddings.
What are the checklists that you would go through in like planning a wedding?
We always tell a couple during the consultation as well that there's 5 particular areas that you wanted to look at, and these 5 really form your wedding. So first out of all is definitely your venue, right? Like you need your venue. Everything is building on your venue, and this is very important, especially for a couple who's maybe on a budget, will have a budget in mind, because everything will be affected by the venue. Because if your venue is already very beautiful on its own, even though it may be a higher price point, but you're saving on everything else. So what I always tell my couple, like, think from that perspective, and then venue is your number 1. And then is your photo and video. Then your decoration, so decor and flower. And of course, your planner and also makeup artist. So these are like the top criteria, like we call it like our top vendor team that we have to put together. And of course, everyone else just equally important, but these are the ones that you wanted to secure right away when you have a date in mind and when you have some kind of idea in mind, like this is the first thing you wanted to do.
Right. So that's kind of like the 5 main pillars, but I imagine if I were to if I'm like really on a budget, I can't afford a planner. I don't know if I can afford a coordinator, but I really want to save money on my wedding. That 5 place, because you were saying that venue where you get married kind of affects other areas, right? But if I were to like kind of like chip in like on the savings, where would be kind of the 3 areas I can actually save money on my wedding if I'm planning it myself?
If you are planning it on your own, definitely venue, like I say, is top 1 that I think is very important. If you're on a budget, look for a venue that you kind of like it on its own already.
So not that many decor needed.
It's already pretty on its own, then that's good. You just need a little bit of an enhancement, right? You don't need like a big transformation in there. Second is consider a shorter period of time. So shorten your photo and video booking time, because in Vancouver, it's always count by hours. So they will have like 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, or 12 hours and more package. So for my clients, like I have clients who's on budget too, right? Well, everyone has budget, just rather where your budget is. And for a couple that's more like budget is number 1, then I always suggest I look at it as, okay, well, guest count is another thing, right? Do you need all these people there? And also, do you want it to stretch out your timing so long? Then maybe you can do a lunch reception, then that really shortens the time. So that's another area that I think people can consider. And also after this year, I think we'll see a lot of smaller wedding elopement. I think that is something that we will see a lot as well. And yeah, I think those are the particular area that you can consider to work on and from there. But sometimes I do tell my couple though, because what I find is that for a couple who's planning on their own, a lot of the time they're spending money on area that's not necessarily. So sometimes having a planner is actually better for your budget, because they help you to stream through and streamline and find the best fit and work on the best timeline for you, and then best venue that will fit your need.
Those were the 8 tips from Kitty. Let us know below if you find anything helpful or if you have any more tips that you'd like to share with the people on YouTube. By the way, if you are a young person, high school student, university student, someone who's just free and interested in making content, there's a link below in the video description that you can use to let us know that you'd like to work with us on making this podcast happen, whether it's the audio format or the video here on YouTube. We can share with you all the things that we know so far, and you can either work with us on the stage in front of the camera, you can interview the guests with us, or you can work behind the stage doing editing, copywriting, thumbnails, graphics, and so on. There's a lot that you can learn from us. So if you eventually want to start your own podcast or your own YouTube channel, this is one way how you can get started. With us, we'll teach you everything that we know. In the meantime, if you like what we're doing, please be sure to subscribe and follow our podcast and turn on that notification bell. And so that next time when we have a new video, you know, and I'll see you in some other video. Bye-bye.